Hey everybody, Scott Pierce here at Listings to Leads. Welcome to the call. Go ahead and let me know where you're coming in from and who we got with us on this January 2nd. Let me close. There we go. Awesome. All right. And instead, okay, sweet. All right. Today I want to cover a just sold idea for you to get more listings from your just sold listings. This is good for the listing agents, for the selling agents. It's also good for pending listings as well. You'll be able to take what we're going to talk about for your pending listings as well. And so let's do this. Let's go to listingstoleads.com in a minute. But first, if you have not joined our school community, I want to invite you to do that. Go ahead and there's a link in the chat that you can click to join us. So go ahead and do that right now if you like. And when you get here, there's actually two of them. There's one for expireds and there's one for just sold. I'm going to be doing a few more open house. Open house database. I feel like there's another one I'm going to be doing. I can't remember off the top of my head, but you'll see these two right now. And for just sold, the whole idea is that there are a number of different call to actions with just sold. All right. So you sell a property, you get a property into contract. And historically, we talked about the fact that when a property sells, home values in the area will change. And that is a phenomenal marketing angle to engage homeowners, all right, and to engage other people that are thinking about selling. But there are some other really great ones as well that leverage the tools within Listings to Leads for you. One of them, which is not live yet, but is our 100-point home marketing plan. So when you get a listing contract or you get a listing sold, again, as either the listing or selling agent, you can do this. Talking about how another home in Folsom just sold, our 100-point home marketing plan got 10,000 views for this home versus 930 on Zillow, in that one. All right. But the one that we're going to talk about today is really just taking the idea of the golden letter and using that same strategy as the golden letter and putting it everywhere else. All right. Doing a Facebook ad, doing a Facebook lead ad, right? We got a new custom question that I'm going to be showing you here in a minute. Doing a social media post that leverages messages. So people click the post and it goes right to messages. Sending an email to our database, using the nearby homeowner letter, which is one of the best tools. We have clients that use that and get listings regularly from it. A circle prospecting script, all right. A short form video script, and then an actual short form video. So you can do a short form video script where you're talking, and that's what the script is for. And then a short form video where we're going to use a video clip of the property and put some information on that. And I'll show that to you here in a few minutes. All right. Now, my thought is you would do all three of these. All right. So you would do the golden letter series, and then maybe the next week. Well, all right. You can start off with home values have changed because that's the default one in Listings to Leads. So when you change the status of a listing to pending and then again to just sold, that will use the home values have changed strategy and language. And that would be perfect to do week one. But then week two, go in and let's change everything to the golden letter. All right. Because it's allowing us to remarket that same property as pending, as just sold. But now we can do it with a different call to action that's going to attract different people. Because, a homeowner may see your ad or a post or an email talking about how, 1015 Riley Street in Folsom just sold. Your home value has changed. Click below to get your updated home value now. That's a great one, right? And that can be the first message that we market with. Then the next week, we market with the fact that 1015 Riley Street just sold, but we've got more buyers looking in the area. All right. So that's another great way to market that pending or just sold. And then we're going to do the 100-point home marketing plan. So again, 1015 Riley Street just sold, our 100-point home marketing plan, like I mentioned a little bit earlier. So it's how do we get more out of the the listings that we've already got to get more listings. Does that make sense for everybody? So let's open this up. Let's take a quick look at it, and then we're going to go through and we're actually going to do it. So if you are a Listings to Leads client, I really would recommend that you log into Listings to Leads. If you got a pending listing or a sold listing, we can do this together. And that way you can ask me any questions along the way. So the Facebook and Instagram ad. All right, and again, I'm just going to show this to you briefly, and then we're going to go in and actually do it all together. So here's the ad. I will click Show Ad. And if I scroll down, and there we go. So here's the ad. And I got all the language in there that you can just copy, paste, edit. So people see this ad, just sold in Folsom, and I still have 8 buyers actively looking to buy a home. What price would make it worth taking a look at an offer for your home? If you own a 3 to 4 bedroom home in Folsom, tap Learn More and tell me your magic number. Even a range is fine. No pressure or obligation. We got the image here, just sold in Folsom. I have 8 more buyers looking for homes in Folsom. People tap Learn More, and look at that custom question right there. What is your magic number for your home? We can put a number, hit continue, name, email, phone number. They hit continue. They're going to end up on the single property website. You're going to get the lead notification letting you know somebody just clicked your ad. Here's what they put in as the number. Now they could just put, I don't want to sell, or they could put 0. They could put whatever they want, but you're going to get the notification letting you know. And like any of this stuff, the follow-up, all right, is the key. So we want to make sure that we follow up and find out what they're thinking. And we'll get more into the follow-up a little bit later. We got a Facebook post. Again, I got all the text for the Facebook post. You can just take this and copy and paste it and edit it as needed. Click here to view this post. And this is using messages. So people see your post, similar language, except now it says tap send message. And they're going to tap, and I'm going to show you how to do this. And Messenger opens up. And you'll get a notification on Facebook letting you know that somebody tapped your post and that they are now inside of messages. We got an email to send out to your database. Similar language. I just sold 1015 Riley Street in Folsom. I still have 8 buyers actively looking for a home in Folsom. Quick question. What price would make it worth taking a look at an offer for your home? If you have a 34 bedroom home in Folsom and you'd be open to a quiet, no obligation conversation, just hit reply and send me your magic number. Even a range is fine. And then it's got PS. If you'd rather start with a quick home value equity update, reply and I'll send that. And there's an example of what that email would look like. We've got a nearby homeowner letter. So the nearby homeowner letter, this is a take on our standard nearby homeowner letter. And yeah, Demi, you can ask our support team. Sometimes they can help out with that. But yeah, you might also want to contact Facebook support as well. I know if you, I saw that if you do the verified, you get priority support. So that might be something you might want to take a look at as well. But yeah, go ahead. And you can still do all of this other stuff as well, that even beyond the ad itself. All right. So for the letter, the top half is, yeah, Demi, I don't know then. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. If you ask our support about it and they weren't able to help you, they've actually been able to help out a number of people, but not everybody, because it just depends on what's going on. That's a little bit out of our control. So the letter, and this is phenomenal. This is something you could either mail or door knock with. Door knocking is so powerful because you can actually, get face to face with people. And a lot of our clients who door knock with our stuff have tremendous success. Um, and so the letter starts off with, I just want to let you know that 1015 O'Reilly Street in Folsom just sold. You can get the sold price, photos, your home value, and more by going to, and it's got the URL. So this is just a standard nearby homeowner letter on the top. And then it says in bold, I still have 8 buyers actively looking for a home in Folsom. Quick question. What price would make it worth taking a look at an offer for your home? If you have a 3 to 4 bedroom home in Folsom, you'd be open to a quiet, no obligation conversation. Just text your magic number 2, and then it's got my phone number. No pressure, no obligation, just curious. All right, that's the letter. Then we got a circle prospecting script. I think circle prospecting is one of the, again, just like all of this stuff, circle prospecting is so key. And what's great about circle prospecting, whether you do this at pending, sold, or even both, which I would recommend, think of it as a service call. All right. If I am a homeowner in the area and you just got a listing into contract, I would be curious about it. I'd be wondering, and very likely, if I'm thinking about selling at some point in the future, and you called me just to let, and you said, and you started off with, if you called me and I said, "Hey Susan, hi, is this Susan?" She's going to respond whatever, and you start off with, "I just got 1015 Riley Street into contract right around the corner from you," or "I just sold 1015 Riley Street in Folsom, not too far from you." I'm going to be a little bit curious. Now, if I'm not thinking about selling anytime in the future at all, maybe I'm not curious. I'm not interested in that. But if I'm even remotely thinking about selling at some point in the next year, I'm going to be somewhat curious. So I'm going to start asking you more questions about it. But if you don't circle prospect, if you don't call these people up, then you're never going to find out. All right. So don't think of it as a sales call. Think of it as a customer service call. And that might make it a little bit easier for some of you that are nervous about calling people. There's services like My Plus Leads, RedX, Vulcan 7, that they've got the ability to download a list of people. So you can get it from your title company, but then it's hard to scrub against the DNC. All right. Yeah, Damon, I'm not even sure why. Yeah. Yeah. Sounds like you might be. Yeah. All right. Anyways, circle prospecting script. So we'll take a look at that. There is a short form video script. So this is something I want you to record. I think being at the property is one of the best things, where you're at the property, maybe the home is behind you. That way it gives you social proof that you're like literally at the property you're talking about. And again, the script, I just sold 1015 Riley Street in Folsom, and I still have 8 buyers actively looking to buy a home. All right. So it's the same idea. And it's a phenomenal script, because what is this doing? It's showing people that you got the home sold. And again, selling agent, listing agent, pending, just sold. All right. It works for all of it. So you got the script, and then there's a short form video. Now, let me show you what this looks like on TikTok. So that's just a 20-second video walking through the property. I'm sure all of you can do this. This is kind of a nice, easy, slow pan. And I just took pretty much the same language again, and I added it as text on top of the video. I mean, this is something that I think all of you should be able to do. If not, you upload the video into TikTok. You click text, you drop in the text, and you just keep doing that. So each one of these lines that you see is a separate text. All right, in TikTok. So 1015 Raleigh Street just sold. I still have 8 buyers looking for a home in Folsom. What price would it make you to take a look at an offer for your home? Just comment below or DM me your magic number. No pressure. Now, on mobile, when you actually look at this on the phone, I mean, nobody looks at TikTok on their computer. On your phone, you're going to see that there's actually a poll. All right. Now you don't see the poll on the laptop, but I actually added a poll, and you can do that in TikTok via stickers. So take a look at that on your phone. And then on Instagram, so this is what it looks like on Instagram. What I do is I do it on TikTok first because I like their editor. The editor on TikTok is a lot easier to deal with, even though you may or may not, care about TikTok. I think TikTok is phenomenal because of the editor. And then what I do is I download the video once I post it, and then I upload it into TikTok. I upload it into YouTube. And notice right here, click here. What's your magic number to get your home sold? And so on the phone as well, you tap it, and they go to one of my listings to leads landing pages, right? The name, your home price. Click here so they can add their home address. And I'll be walking through this as well. And then it'll say on the next screen that we got buyers for your home. I might sell my home for. If one of our buyers loves your home, what price would you sell it for? And so here it is. All right. Next, name, email, and phone number. They're going to see their estimated home value. You're going to get an email letting you know the address, the number that they put into that second field, and their name, email, and phone number. All right. So we've got a lot of ways. All right. A lot of ways here to get this out into the market. And again, keep in mind, this is just one series of activities for that pending, for that just sold. I want you to do the golden letter series. I want you to the default, which is, again, the home values have changed. That's the default. So when, again, in listings to leads, when I change the status of a listing to pending, it's going to default. In fact, I should put that on top. There we go. So the home values have changed is the default series, but then go through that, do that for a week, and then come back in here, come back into the school, and come grab the text, drop, and I'll show you how to do this. We're going to do it next, and then just run through this one. And then after that, the week after that one, this will probably be done in the next few days. So by the time you get done with this one, this will be ready. And that way we can get so much more out of that just sold listing. All right. So many times people have a pending listing, they have a just sold listing, which are some of your best marketing assets. All right. As a real estate agent, when you get a listing in a contract as either the selling agent or the listing agent, when you get a listing in the contract, when you get a listing sold, that is proof that you are getting homes, into contract and sold. And so we want to make sure that we're not just running one ad or one email or one social media post. We want to have a whole plethora, all right? Because again, you don't even know, different people are going to be motivated by different things. Somebody may see an ad about 1015 Riley Street just sold, your home value has changed. Maybe they don't care, or they're just not ready yet. And then the next week they see 1015 Riley Street just sold. We have more buyers, right? What price would you consider an offer? And maybe they respond to that one. Maybe they don't. And then maybe the next week they see 1015 Riley Street just sold. Our 100-point home marketing plan got this property sold, with over 10,000 views versus 790 on Zillow, right? Take a look, get a copy of this now. So 3 different, completely different messages, calls to action for the same pending, the same sold property. All right. Does that make sense for everybody? Do you get kind of the whole idea of this? So if you have a chance, get yourself over to listingstoleads.com, log in. All right. When you log in, you're going to land on the dashboard. I'm going to click on listings. And if you need help adding the pending or the sold listing to your account, go ahead and click on add listing. Well, if you need help, get with our support team. And for support, there's a tab on the left-hand side called support. So down here, support, but go to add listing, and you can go to manual, or if it's already in your account, I've got my pending listing here. So let's say my listing is active. You just click on active and you select whatever. And so when I say pending, I'm referring to in contract, under deposit, active contingent, or pending. So we have all of those statuses and they're all the same. All right, essentially. I just call them pending. And then we've got just sold listing agent and just sold selling agent. The language around those two changes a little bit. So if you're the selling agent, it'll refer to the fact that it was your buyer that bought it. If you select listing agent, it'll reflect the fact that you represented the homeowner. So the language on these two will change a little bit, but the idea of what I'm talking about is true for all of these statuses. All right. So I've already got my listing as pending. I'm going to click market listing. And when I go to Facebook and Instagram ad, you will notice it's going to default to the one I mentioned, which is another home in Folsom, California is now pending and expected to close soon. When this home is sold, it will affect your home's value. So again, this is what I referred to a little bit earlier about the home values have changed. Call to action is the default. So when I go through all of these tools, work my way down this list, that's going to be the predominant messaging. So I would recommend week 1 of pending, do this one. All right, just go through here and do all of this. But the deal is that listing is going to be in contract for 3 to 4 weeks, maybe 5 or 6 weeks, depending on the contract. So we're going to have more time to market this and really get the maximum benefit from the fact that you got the listing into contract, right? Marketing a listing just listed, marketing, when it's for sale, that's great, but you're just getting a bunch of buyer leads. I want to get as many listing leads as possible so that I get more listing opportunities. And, again, open houses are one of the best ways to do that as well. But marketing a pending and a just sold listing with multiple calls to action, right, over different weeks is also another great way to do it. So we're going to assume I've already done all this, and now we're in week 2. So I'm going to come back into the school. I'm going to click on Golden Letter Series and open it up, and Facebook and Instagram ad. And I'm just going to highlight this. And back in listings to leads, I'm just going to delete all that and paste that in there. Now, if this is just sold, and let me get rid of Grammarly. Now, if this was just sold, I would just change, the location so it's yours, right? Whatever's appropriate for you. And if it's pending, I'm just going to say pending in Folsom. I like to do another home pending in Folsom, and I still have 8 buyers actively looking for a home. What price would make it worth taking a look at an offer for your home? If you have a 3 to 4 bedroom home in Folsom, tap learn more and tell me your magic number. Even a range is fine. All right. Now here's the image. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to change the $50 budget to $100. It's going to run for 1 week by default. And now there's 2 things I'm going to do that I want you to pay attention to. They're super easy, but they're very beneficial. First is I'm going to change the template and the language on this, on the template. So pay attention to this. I'm going to click change template. And below this, we got 21 different templates. I like the first 2. I don't like carousel ads. I like this one because it's got 4 images of the property. The main image is on top, as you can see, it's the largest one. And then there's three like postage stamp images that let people get a feel for it. But because they're so small, it's a little bit hard to see. So this template does so well. Our average cost per lead for just sold was $12. All right. Those are seller leads. Just sold $12 a lead. Absolutely phenomenal. For active listings, the average cost per lead was $3. It was $2.70 last week. Just absolutely amazing. So first of all, I'm going to change the template to this one. But then it says click to get your free home value estimate now. I want to change that to reflect the fact that we're using the golden letter uh, series. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click where it says edit right here. And now I can edit each of these elements. And so I'm going to click edit for this one. And I'm just going to change the subheadline. We still have 8 more buyers for homes in Folsom. Now, where did I get 8 more buyers? And how does that work? So this is why you want to be marketing with listings to leads, all right? Because when you market that home as just listed, active, maybe open house as well, you're going to generate quite a few buyer leads. All right. You should be generating buyer leads, at an average cost between $2 to $6 a lead. So you should have at least 8 buyers, at least I would say at least 10 to 20 leads generated for that listing already. So you may have actually more than 8, and you may have more buyers that have, for example, IDX searches set up in your CRM or in your MLS. So take a look at how many people do I have in either my CRM, my MLS that I've got set up for searches for homes in those areas. All right. And then that's the number that you can use. You could also, and I know people that have done this as well, they will reverse prospect the MLS. Maybe there's 345 people that are, have reverse prospect for homes in Folsom. Well, then I could say, maybe I change the language instead of we still have 8 more buyers for homes in Folsom to there are over 342 people looking for a home in Folsom. So what we want that second line to do is get people looking at this and go, oh, wow, he just got a property into contract, all right, pending in Granite Bay. In fact, I should change that to Folsom, but just bear with me on that part of it, okay? I'll change where it said Folsom to Granite Bay. So he got a home into contract in Granite Bay. And then 2, he has more buyers looking for a Folsom in the area. And so I'm going to change that Folsom, and I'll use Granite Bay. There we go. I'm going to hit apply and then save it. And you will see that the image now has changed right here. I will change Folsom up here to Granite Bay as well. And there's Folsom right there. So I'll say, so yeah, man, come on. How easy is this? So easy. Perfect. Now there's one more thing I'm going to do. One, I can retarget, and that might be a second ad I do if I wanted to, but I just want this ad to run to the general population. You can totally retarget. You can do a custom audience. All right. But I'm not going to do that for this ad. What I am going to do, check this out. Now, again, pay attention to this part right here, because the first thing that we did was we changed the text and the image to represent and build on that call to action, right? The call to action of we just got a home into contract. We just got a home sold. Again, either as a listing or selling agent, I can do this. And we got more buyers. All right. We've got more buyers. So I'm going to click advanced options, and we're going to add that custom question that I showed you a little bit earlier. So check this out. Advanced options, create new form. And there's a section here called questions, form questions. I'm going to open it up. We got, what is your time frame to sell? Right? We got name, email, and phone number, first of all. So name, email, phone number. And then we got these other questions. All right. If I go to the first, when people click my ad, these are the two questions that are by default. What is your time frame to sell? Would you sell in the next 1 to 3 months if you got the right price? So these are the two default questions, and I can leave them and it would totally work fine. But I can also do this. I'm going to turn that one off. I'm going to scroll down, and what is your magic number for your home? No obligation. I'm going to turn that one on, hit create form. And now when people click that ad, those two questions are going to come up first. Would you sell your home in the next 1 to 3 months if you got the right price? And two, what is your magic number for your home? Which is going to absolutely be supported by the text in this ad. Does that make sense for everybody? And then I'm just going to close advanced options and hit create ad. And literally in 2 to 3 minutes, we got a Facebook lead ad. I didn't have to worry about privacy policy. I didn't have to worry about special housing ad category. We've got all that taken care of for you. So, week one, I did the standard ad of what is your, 4550 prospect just went into contract or just went pending. When this home sells, your home value will change. That's the phenomenal ones to use week one. And now week two, I'm using, all right, 4550 prospect just went pending. And we've got 8 more buyers looking for a home, or we got 24 more buyers looking for a home. What price would you consider taking an offer? All right. So that's going to be submitted. All right. Next up is a social media post. Now, for this one, we're going to do something a little bit different. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to ads. And in ads, I'm going to download this image to use on Facebook. So if I go create ad, change template, I can actually download this image because I want to use that in a social media post, but I don't want to post from listings to leads. So I want to do a message ad or a message post, and that'll make sense in a minute. So check this out. I'm going to download the image. So I can download rectangle or square. I'll just download the square image. All right, so here's the image. All right, so we're going to do a Facebook post. All right, so this would be a post. And let me bring up Facebook on my other monitor. Give me 1 second, and I'm going to switch to my Facebook group page or my business page. All right, so so here's my Facebook page. And what's on your mind? I'm going to click add photo and video. And I'm just going to upload that same photo right there that I downloaded from listings to leads. I'm going to go back into school. All right, Facebook post right there, Facebook post. Post text, I'm just going to copy this. And I'm going to drop it in. So it says just sold in Folsom. So this one is pending. I'm going to do another, all right, I can also do the address, 4550 Gold Lane in Granite Bay is now pending. And I still have 8 buyers actively looking to buy a home. What price would it make it? 3 to 4 bedroom in Folsom. So I'm just going to change that. All right, easy peasy. The image, and this is important. So when you do the ad, go ahead and just download the image right when you're doing the Facebook ad, and that way you won't have to go back like I did. But now I got a great image supporting the messaging, right? Supporting the text at the top. And notice it says send message. Now let me close that and let me see how do because when you get there, it may not say that for you. So let me show you how to get that send message. So we got photos, tag, all right, check in, get messages. And if I click on the more, you'll see right there, it says get messages. Just select that. Boom, right there. Hit next. Just everything, leave it good to go. You don't need to boost it. And that's it. Now, I'm not going to see the send messages because it's my account. But if you were to see this, right, if you're part of my group, and I could even share this back to my, personal profile, right from my page, right? Hit share to your story. All right. I could copy the link. All right. Put it on my page and get more people to it. And again, now when people click the image or they click send message, Facebook Messenger is going to pop up. And I'm going to, even if they don't type, I'm going to get a notification that somebody clicked my post. All right. Absolutely awesome. All right. Any questions on that? So we did an ad with a custom question. All right. What's your magic number? We did a Facebook post. All right. We can share it to our story, take the link, share it to our personal page. All right. And you might even drop that into a neighborhood group, right? If you belong to the same neighborhood group as where that listing is, you might drop it in there. All right. Next up, we got the email for our database. So for this one right here, all you got to do, copy the text below. So just copy the text below. Go to your email. This could be Follow Up Boss, Lofty, Sierra, Boomtown, Real Geeks, Constant Contact. Or it could be anything. And I'm going to go where I'm going to create an email blast to send out to my people. And I'm going to do subject line. I'm going to say 1015. I can't remember the. I can't remember the exact address, but you're going to put actually, I think it was 4550 something or other. But I like to do the address is pending in Folsom, and Folsom is pending, something similar. I'm just going to paste that in there. Change the address. And change the location here. What price, magic number. Obviously 3 to 4 bedroom, change that. 3 to 4 bedroom is the most common around the country. But if it's a 2 to 3 bedroom, then change 3 to 4 to 2 to 3 and all of these things that we're doing. And that's it. That's all I got to do. All right. That's it. I mean, it literally should take you all of 10 seconds. Send a test email. Now, if you got leads in Listings to Leads, do it in Listings to Leads and your CRM. So if you got seller leads already inside of Listings to Leads that are not in your CRM, then just do exactly what I did. And when you're good to go, click send to. I'll say send to all of my seller leads. All right. And then send it. Boom. Get that out the door. If you got your leads in Bold Trail, if you got leads in, Constant Contact, you got them in Lofty, just drop that email into Lofty and send it. And so literally in like 10 minutes, we did the ad, the post, we did an email. Let's go back into school. We did the email. Next up is a nearby homeowner letter. And again, just think about this. When you get a home into contract, when you get a home sold, that is one of the best things, right? For you to be trumpeting, to be shouting from the rooftops, especially in a market like this in so many places where, home sales are down in a lot of places. And even if they're not, it doesn't matter because, it's the whole idea of people want to work with winners. And if you are getting homes in the contract, if you're getting homes sold, then you are a winner in this area, right, of homeowners that are thinking about listing their home down the road. And so we want to make sure that we are getting that message out there as much as possible in as many ways as possible. And that's why we got the 3 different messaging tactics, right? The home buyers have changed messaging. We still have buyers looking for homes in the area messaging, and our 100-point home marketing plan got this home into contract, got this home sold messaging. So we got 3 different complete unique messaging ways of doing this, of staying and getting in front of these people. Because again, we don't want to do a one and done. We don't want to just send out one ad, one post, one short form video. We want to be able to do multiple different things so that we are staying in front of people. Because if you think about it, even on a TikTok, Instagram, an email, a social media post, maybe 10 to 15% of your audience will see that, maybe. And so we want to have multiple ways, multiple messaging to make sure that we are staying in front of these people. So the nearby homeowner letter, what you can do is you'll click Canva, you click that link, you will request access to this. So you can request access. I will grant you access. And then what you're going to do, you'll have view only. After you get view only access, you'll come to File, make a copy, and then you'll make a copy and save that to your free Canva account. So a lot of you have Canva. It's also in ChatGPT, right? Canva, some companies, some brokerages give Canva out. A lot of people have Canva on their own. So make a copy, save it to your Canva account. And then from here, all right, you can edit it as needed. So for example, there's a URL, there's a text code, a QR code. Now, in fact, let me show you something else that you actually can do. This might actually be easier. In listings to leads, we got the nearby homeowner letter, and it actually sits in an editor. So hope you're having a great week. Want to let you know that 4550 Prospect Circle in Folsom went pending and is expected to close soon. So you can see how I can edit that. And the part that we edited was this part right here. Because again, what are we doing? We're changing the messaging from home values have changed to we have more buyers looking for a home in the area. So I would recommend that letter. When you think about a farm area, right, we want to make sure that we're not sending, again, one and done. We don't want to be one and done. So I would send out maybe even 1 or 2 letters if you can while the home is pending. And then the letter once or twice when the home is just sold. That repetition, that change of messaging is going to get you in front of more people. So I'm going to come back over to school. Actually, I guess I'll go to Canva. And I'm just going to copy that text on the bottom. And I'm just going to copy and paste it right into listings to leads. All right, right in that same area right there. And let me see, let's do this. I'm going to close it. I'm going to open it back up again. Let me refresh. I think there's a better way of doing that. Give me 1 second. So market listing, nearby homeowner letter, edit. And what I want to do is I'm just going to swap that with this. There we go. All right. I said more buyers in Folsom. Quick question. Now I'm just going to edit it. Perfect. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to edit the text so that the text is all the same. Well, not that text. So this text right here, I'm just going to highlight it all. And then I'm going to do Verdana. And I do this just to make sure that everything looks even. Right? See how that looks, now it's all the same. And I can do a little bit of formatting. Just make sure it looks great. And there we go. Change Folsom to Granite Bay or whatever it is that's for your area. Change the phone number to my phone number. And then I can download it, PDF or JPEG. Perfect. Look at that. Absolutely awesome. And people that use the letter report, when you use a letter, most people use it twice, just listed and just sold. But the more you use the letter, the more opportunities you're going to get to connect with homeowners. So if you've got more time than money, I would go door knock with this letter. All right. This is a phenomenal letter. The default letter talking about home values have changed is great. But then this one is great as well. And you could do, if you're over there and you got time, and I know it's a little bit cold in a lot of areas, the weather's a little bit inclement in a lot of areas, but I tell you, door knocking with this letter, even if you door knock a second time to people, because you may not have been able to get them the first time. And even if you did, so let's say you knock and you talk to somebody and you talk about the fact that, hey, we just got a home into contract and, home values have changed, and you have a conversation with somebody, and then you go knock on the door again. And now your message is, well, why are you here again? Well, because I just want to let you know that we still got more buyers looking for a home. We got the home under contract, we got the home sold, but we got more buyers looking. And so, if would you consider an offer for your home? And if so, what number would you take to sell your home to one of my buyers? All right. It's a completely different messaging altogether. So in a market where we are trying to connect with homeowners, right, and everybody else is just doing online only, right? There's a lot of people not online. There's a lot of people not on Facebook. They're not on Google. They're not on AI, right? They're at home. You think about the average age of a home buyer is 40. Well, what do you think the average age of a home seller is? It's over 50. All right. It's over 60 probably for especially a second seller, right? Third time home seller, right? They're in their 60s or in their 70s. So they're not on AI on Instagram necessarily. Right. Some of them are, but a lot of them are at home, right? And they're perfect for door knocking. So take that letter, right? Just like I did, click edit, just paste in, do select all, change the font to be the same font so it looks beautiful. Edit it just a little bit like you saw me do the formatting so it looks nice, and then get that out there. Now I could mail it, I could door knock, right? Whatever you want. All right, so we got the letter, and then back in school, we got a circle prospecting script. And you can do this with or without the letter. So if you use the letter and then call, phenomenal. Keep a list of who you got into contact with or who you spoke with, but then use the circle prospecting script and call through. All right. Again, this is a customer service call. You got Red X, you got My Plus Leads, you got Vulcan 7, right? Those kinds of services are great because they allow you to get emails, which is phenomenal, but they also allow you to scrub against the DNC so we don't get into trouble there. So, just think about the fact that you could actually text, call, and email around your pending and sold listing multiple times. Because again, now, even if I called you, let's say I called you last week regarding with the messaging of, hey, 450 prospect just went into contract. Now I just called to let you know when in the contract and that home values will change when this property closes escrow. Now, when I call you back again, why am I calling? It's almost like that Columbo close. Hey, this is Scott calling, and hey, I know we spoke last week, but I just wanted to let you know, we got 8 more buyers still looking for homes in Folsom after we got the last one into contract. You know, would you take an offer on your home if you got the right price? Right? I'm just asking you. Right? I know I called you last week. Right? Maybe you left a voicemail. Maybe you hung up and didn't leave a voicemail and you didn't call back. Maybe you did talk to them but didn't put down something for a follow up. Well, this is a perfect reason to call back. Right? It's a perfect reason. It's almost like you forgot to tell them that, oh, by the way, we've got more people looking for homes in the area. So, a phenomenal way to be able to re-prospect these same people that you called last week. Because there's nothing worse, right? We go through a list and we make the phone calls, and maybe out of 100 people, we only get a hold of 7 or 8. And maybe of the 7 or 8, only 1 or 2 do we have a good conversation with. Well, if we call back and we have another script with another call to action, with another reason why we're calling them, that gives us a lot more. And plus, it's your name being, they hear your name again. They hear your dedication to the whole process. All right. Like, man, this agent works, right? She's really working it. And I tell you, from agents I talk to, the consistency of doing it really shows to the homeowners, whether it's you consistently doing open houses in the area, you're consistently doing mailing to them, you're consistently doing phone calls. There are people that actually respect that as long as you're being professional about it. All right. So circle prospecting, I would definitely do that. Again, we got a short form video script. Jason, do you think mixing in postcards versus letters? Yeah, I think so. I definitely think so. Yeah. Yeah, maybe we'll come up with a postcard in Canva that you can just download and print. That might be actually something would be great for this. Yeah, I'll take a look at that, Jason. Thanks for the mentioning it. That's awesome. All right, so this is the short form video script. Straightforward. Right, I would go in front of the property. Now, I would go in front of the property with the short form video script in listings to leads. So back in listings to leads, there is a short form video script that relates to, again, the first call to action, right? 4550 prospect circle in Folsom is now pending, right? Get more information. And then it comes down to, if you're a Folsom homeowner, when this home is sold, area home prices could change. So again, we're using the first run through of the marketing for the pending and sold relates to the fact that when this home is sold, or now that the home is sold, home values either will or have changed. Now we got marketing funnel number 2 for that same listing, which is 4550 prospect in Folsom is now pending. And I still got 8 more buyers actively looking to buy a home. What price would make it worth for you to take a look at an offer for your home from one of my buyers? Because again, people that are thinking about selling, especially in this market in so many areas, they know the market is crazy. All right. They know the market, days on market is longer. They read the headlines, they see everything. And so they know, right, the market is not a great seller's market right now. It's not like it was 3 or 4 years ago when you could just list your home and get 10 offers on it for the most part. And so having this opportunity to us, like, oh, wow, like Jason really has 8 more buyers. That's awesome. So you're going to get more people reaching out to you. So we want to do a video. So go in front of that pending listing, go in front of that sold listing. Again, either as a listing or a selling agent, and get that done. And then lastly, we got the short form video itself. And click here to view on TikTok again. I showed this a little bit earlier. So all this is, and again, if you go to this link on your phone, you're going to see there's a poll, just like you saw in the screenshot. And I just use the when you're in TikTok, let's see here. Hold on a second. When you're in TikTok, everybody here know how to do TikTok and how to use or how to do the I'm going to take a screenshot. Give me 1 second. I'm going to click on edit and text. And I'm going to send this save to photos. Give me 1 second here. And let's do it one more time. Text, there we go. Yeah. I mean, in TikTok, it's so easy. Maybe you have never done it before, so you're not really sure how to do it. I'm going to send this over to my phone. So when you upload a video to TikTok, I know it may not seem like much, but when you upload a video to TikTok, you just literally tap to upload the video. There's an edit icon on the far right. Click edit, and then there's going to be a text option along the bottom. You just hit text, and then you're going to see this right here. What I do to get the text in that video, let me bring the video back up, is I just text or email myself the same language that is in the short form video script, essentially. And so you can see the email, the post, the ad, the circle prospecting script, the letter, right? All of it is essentially the same language, except the how to respond is going to be different. In the email, it's reply back. In the ad, it's click learn more. In the post, it's click send message. In the letter, it's text the number. In the short form video script and in the short form video, it's DM or comment below. So all of these different channels just have a different reply mechanism. Does that make sense? And so here the reply mechanism is comment below or DM me. And so in the image here, where it says enter text, I literally just copy and paste from the email right into here. So it takes like 3 or 4 minutes to do it. And then you can see how it looks here. It's got some little music. And here's the deal. Even if they don't respond to this right here, what do? They see again that I got a home into contract, that I got a home sold. So, it's building up that success story in their head with this agent right here. Because if I didn't do this, then they're not going to have seen the fact that I got a property sold. They may have forgotten that I got a property sold. So when we get a property into contract, when we get a property sold, we want to have an excuse. We want to have a reason. We want to have a why of why do you keep putting this in front of me, right? As a viewer, as an audience member, either via email because I'm in your database, via a Facebook ad because I'm just in the audience that Facebook shows it to, in the Facebook post because I belong or I see your post from your group, on TikTok or Instagram because again I'm just in the audience, right? Why do I keep seeing your pending post? Well, I'm seeing your pending post because you're giving another call to action. The first one again is 4550 prospect went into contract and it's expected to close soon. When it does close, area home values will change, right? As standard, as usual. And then the second time they see it, it's 4550 prospect went into contract. We got 8 more buyers looking for a home. If you own a home, what number or what price would you take to sell your home to one of our buyers? And then the next one is going to be 4550 prospect is now in contract. Our 100-point home marketing plan got 10,000 views for this home versus 790 on Zillow. So we don't want to put all of this messaging into the same post or the same email or the same letter, because it's just over too much, right? People would never even get through it because there's so much in there. But if we break all of this great news out and we break it out into like little manageable calls to action, well, now instead of being one and done with a post, one and done with an ad, one and done with an email, now we've got more reasons to stay in front of people. So people are going to start associating us more with, hey, this is an agent that it's getting homes into contract. This is an agent getting homes sold. And they likely won't even remember the fact that it's the same home that they saw previously, right? They probably won't even realize, like, oh, that was the same home that he talked about last week. All right, so get into our school. Let us know if you got any questions on this. Get into the mastermind group if you have any questions on this. And again, what I recommend is when you got a listing that's in contract, run through the default ad, the default post first. So again, let's go here and we'll be done here in just a few seconds. But let's take a look at it. For example, the just sold listing agent. Just do our default per our training, the first, week 1. So, again, I would just probably leave this as is, because again, this is the home values have changed messaging. Just go through here like we do in our training, boom, and just do that all the way through. And then it's going to be week 2. I would come through here, do the golden letter verbiage from our school, like you just saw me do with you. And then week 3, I would come in and I'd redo it with the 100-point home marketing plan verbiage. Because I'm telling you, man, the more people that see that 100-point home marketing plan, the more listings you're going to get from that as well. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. If you have any questions, let us know. Hope you survived the new year, and we will see you next week. All right. Take care. Be good.